We have a pretty weak opening pack. Rare is not so good. In fact, Rare is unplayable. We've got a Daring Wave Rider. We've got a Baker's Bane Duo. I think those are the two best cards in the pack. And we've got like Glide Dive Duo, Dire Downdraft. It's kind of some other cards I wouldn't mind having in my deck. But a lot of these cards in the pack just like are not cards I particularly want in my deck. I think you could either take Wave Rider or the Duo. Kind of dealer's choice here. I think I'm going to go with the Wave Rider here. Duo, it's a good cheap card in a good color, but I've been really enjoying the blue decks lately, so let's see if we can get a good blue deck going here. Okay, second pack here. This one's a little bit easier, I think. We've just got to clear Feed the Cycle is the best card. Vanishing Light. We've got a few other cards that I wouldn't mind. And obviously with the Wave Rider, it's a really good card to flash back. And with the blue decks I've been drafting, blue-green is one I've been drafting since day one of the format pretty happily, but I would say that blue-black is the second most likely place that I end up when I draft blue. Blue-red's actually a deck that I have seen in the past few days kind of creep up there as a deck that people are starting to draft a little bit more. I think I actually lost to a pretty good blue-red deck this weekend in draft 2 of the Arena Open. I think 1 out of every 15 drafts or something might be a blue-red draft. Anyways, let's go through this pack here. Out of this pack, we've got a Pawn Prophet, we've got a Fireglass Mentor. You could take either, but I think I'm just going to take the Mentor here, just being what I think is the best card in the pack. I mean, obviously, Pawn Prophet's pretty good in blue-green, but I like Feed the Cycle more than Wave Rider. I think that's just the better card, so might as well take the card that goes with their better card. And actually, I think this is also a better card than Pawn Prophet by a little bit. I like Winged Lizards quite a bit. They're both also essentially gold cards. I mean, Pawn Prophet can go into a non-blue-green deck, but usually not super optimal there. Okay, so then this pack, we've got a few decent green cards, Polywallop, Cash Grab, Scales of Shale being something that I don't mind in any black deck, and I think with the Fireglass Mentor, I'm just going to take here. Yeah, nothing in this pack super sticks out. I mean, if this is like a pick one, pack one, I'd probably be on Cash Grab. But I think with the black card and with the Mentor in the pile, I like taking Scales. Okay, so now what do we take? I think the best card in the pack is Tide Call Mentor. There's Balin, which you are very far away from. I've seen a lot of kind of like medium red and black cards creeping through here. Stargaze, pretty good in the slower decks, but I think I am just going to take what is the best card, though. I think, not really much reason to do otherwise. These black and red cards aren't going to make or break my black-red deck, and yeah, we could easily still be blue-black, especially because Scales of Shale, like, I could play that anywhere. You don't really need to be a black-red deck, like I mentioned. All right, now I think I just go for the Orator as a kind of, bridge between black-red and blue-black. Kind of fine in either deck. Preferably in a blue-black deck, because you really want your 2-drops in black-red to be good attackers. But Roughshot Duo, a fine card in the black-red deck, nothing I want to prioritize. I like Lightshell Duo. I think that card's pretty solid too, but we'll just take the 2-drop, especially because if we do end up in black-blue, we are low on cheap cards right now. Wow, okay. Pick 7 Carrot Cake. That is something. Could just be that the pod is disrespecting this card. I will still take it, though. Well, I don't mind another Scales of Shale. I think Carrot Cake's just a little bit too good to pass up on. And yeah, again, just noting that this is probably not a huge signal for white being open, but could be. Could just be, a few people next to me went like, okay, well, my draft started a certain way, but then the cards that got passed make me not want to be in white. Now we just get to take Glide Dive Duo, build out our black base. So, kind of just going to organize like this and take another Glide Dive Duo. So this is good, right? Like, pack 1 has not been super clear about where we should be, but just getting kind of generically good black cards. And actually, at this point in the format, there's been some talk about, what's the best color, green or black. I am in the black camp myself, and Raider comes back for our Lizard deck if we do that. Yeah, I'm in the black camp myself. There are, it's pretty close. I don't think, maybe it's just splitting hairs. I don't think it really matters all that much, but I have found there's slightly more depth in the black cards. Although, you could argue with the green cards. Maybe, some of the uncommons are a little better than the black uncommons. That's also probably true. But I think as far as commons go, I've just been really happy with the depth of black commons. Ooh, nice. Okay, so now we get a Warlock. And once again, another card that goes anywhere but is at its best in Lizards. Also a saver in the pack. Just going to take as many black cards as we can now and figure out our secondary color later. And his pick's not all that close to me. I think just Warlock's excellent. Would not take the saver here, especially because we've got, a few interaction spells. I count the Scales of Shield as interaction to some degree. If we end up in blue-black, they're still pretty close, like honestly about even. And again, if we end up in red-black, this card's gonna be excellent. Okay, so this pack's interesting. There's a Camellia here. But green has just not been very open. We saw almost no green in pack 1, so I'm not gonna take this. We also have, what, like 1 squirrel? So I don't think this is all that enticing. So basically we take a card for the black-red deck, either Raider or Take Out the Trash. Might as well just Take Out the Trash, as that is the better card. Raider also has a decent chance of wheeling. There's a Reptilian Recruiter here. I don't mind this card, but I think worse than both the Raider and the removal spell in black-red. Okay, now we can take a Ravine Raider, or we can take a Cleric. Cleric, not a bad card in black-red, just a cheap thing that gets in very easily. Although Raider is also that, and has relevant creature types, if you care about the creature types. With 2 Glide Dive duos, though, I think I'm going to take the Cleric. There's also, you know, the chance that we do end up in black-white, so the flexibility of this card, because Raider's not a great black-white card, makes me want to take the Cleric a little bit more. All right, and then, yeah, we just take Carrot Cake. So, story of this draft is that no lane is clearly open. No secondary color, I should say. And we're just going to keep on taking black cards. There's a Bandit's Talent here, and I've actually played this card more and more recently. The thing with Bandit's Talent is the more discard you have, so the more Warlocks and Negotiations, the more you're like, okay, I actually want this card. Not going to take it over a good removal spell, of course, but just something of note, something that if you know, you see some late Bandit's Talents, just do a little bit of a count to see how many cards you have to support it. I don't think it's a bad card. You just need the deck for it, basically. Okay, then here, am I going to take another Glide Die duo or Intimidator? I think because the Cleric, again, I'm just going to take another duo. And that's going to be my last 5-drop I take. If I had this pick again, I would take Intimidator. I'm not super concerned about filling up the 4-drop slot. Those, you know, the 4-drop slot kind of gets naturally filled in if you have a lot of 2s, because you get to double spell with 2 a lot. All right, not a ton I want here. Could play Rockface Village, but we're like a very, very heavy black deck, so I do not think I'm going to take that. I'm going to take this Guard Mouse. Actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm going to take Crumb and Get It, in case we do end up in the white deck. All right, now we've got a Ravine Raider, so glad to see that. And I think we're like 90% to end up in black-red at this point, but I will take a second Crumb and Get It, just in case that is not the case. Yep, okay, so yeah, all the lizard cards coming around. I think all the lizard cards coming around means that we're just gonna say, let's be black-red. Actually, you know, if that's the case, I probably just want another Raider over Recruiter anyways. All right, another one here. We'll take the duo, I think, over the 4th Raider. All right, so this is nice. We're gonna be starting on Raider most of our games, just having 3 of them. Take Pearl of Wisdom. All right, and we even wheeled a Reptilian Recruiter. So we might swap this out, or swap a duo out for one of these, but duo is a really good 5 as well, and is a little bit easier on the mana. Open a nice one, Valley Rockcaller, so gonna take that. Yeah, pretty clear pick here. If we're lucky, maybe Scales of Shales come back, or even Ruthless Negotiation. Like, this card, not a bad card in black-red. All right, yeah, another Warlock, looking good, looking good. In my, I didn't get to record this, I was playing on mobile, but in my Day 2 Arena Open Draft 1, I got 3 Warlocks, and yeah, that deck was very good. It was like a blue-black tempo-y deck, and for whatever reason, my table didn't like Warlocks. It's got a whole heap of them, and, you know, if we're lucky, we might get a 3rd one here, too. Really nice, too, with all these Raiders. We're almost certainly going to be able to trigger this each time. All right, now, nothing of real interest here. Like, there's another Rough Shot duo, which is kind of medium. I'm not low enough on interaction that I really want to take a War Squeak, so I'll just take another duo. Pads up the creature count. We're, like, slightly low on creatures for what it's worth. Ooh, Fountain Port's kind of interesting. Card is good, but less good in an aggro deck where you know, the colorless land definitely hurts a little bit. All right, well, here's the 3rd Warlock. We're going to be thought-seizing our opponents quite a bit. Also a Patchwork banner, and our Lizard count is 10. That is a very close pick. I think because the Warlocks play well with each other, just, you know, thought-seizing, multiple cards really disrupting them makes me want to take the Warlock, but I think you go either way there. That's a really close pick. Okay, now we get a Cutthroat. Would like one more removal spell, and it looks like what happened in this draft is white was not open, but people in this draft just don't like Carrot Cake. I think that's my read on what happened here. All right, take a Brew. Probably not going to play it, but also not playing an Assailants. Ooh, Gecko. Yeah, okay, that's a nice one. All right, so definitely in the right lane. Negotiation comes back too. Negotiation, actually, quite a bit better when you've got 3 Warlocks. I'm pretty happy about that. Now, we're just going to rip the opponent's hand apart, one by one. And am I going to play an early winter? I might. Yeah, I can see playing that over, you know, our worst creature. over the second Brushshot duo probably is something I'm looking to do. I've also found that Lizards is kind of an underdrafted archetype, at least in Best of One. I just feel like I wheel Ravine Raiders a lot. I don't think, this particular draft is exactly a representation of that. 3 Warlocks is still a bit of an anomaly, but the Mentor, for example, like Fireglass Mentor, that's a card I see 7th pick a lot of the time, and you don't see, the green Signpost Uncommons, for example, the Bunny or the Squirrel one. So just a bit of an underrated deck, I think. All right, this is pretty straightforward. We're not going to make any swaps. I did say maybe the Reptilian Recruiter, but I think just being able to keep the mana 10-7 is a real treat here. So don't want to put the double red card in. And yeah, let's just give it a spin. Okay, so we are on the draw with no 1-drop, no 2-drop, and a 3-drop that really, really wants those things. So I think I'm just going to mulligan this hand into a much, much better hand. Yeah, this hand is excellent. What do we put back here? Wow, it's actually kind of close because we want to enable the Thoughtstalkers on turn 3. And the Cleric is the only thing that naturally does that. Also, Cleric into Gecko into Warlock. That's kind of nice. I think, though, I just put back the Gecko and then have this Mentor. Like, Mentor is also going to be very, very good with these Menace creatures. So, we'll just see if we can recoup the card we lost from the mulligan. We're going to make them mulligan, too, so... All right, no Raider. I was kind of hoping we'd see a Raider this turn. That's okay. Green-white. Or an Elder. All right, cool. So let's just play the Mountain, play the Cleric. Hope we can get in. And honestly, if they take the turn, like, Banishing Light or killing this somehow, that's also totally fine. All right, High Restrained Host. Yep. Bash me, and let's do it. Let's start the party. What you got? You got? Ooh, some good stuff. We got Hunter's Talent, Builder's Talent, Forerunner. Jeez. So what we can do here is take the talent and hope that they don't draw the 4th land. But I mean, even if they do, it's not the end of the world. We can just kill the Harvestride Host, which can potentially target this. I'll go, Thistle down players also gets targeted, but I think Hunter's Talent is just the better card. So we will also take it for that reason. All right, yep. They have players, they bash. Okay, so this is nice because now we're going to be able to Thoughtseize the second one. All right, so get in. And, okay, another 4-drop. Take the Forerunner. Pass turn. If they have the land here, it's pretty annoying. Just because pushes a lot of damage. And even still, they're going to be able to push quite a bit of damage this turn. All right, level them up. They can get back Hunter Talent on 5 mana. Ooh, attack in here. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to make the trade. Yeah, just go like this. Killing the Vigilant creature. I think that's a little more important in this spot. All right, let's play the Mentor. Pre-combat, of course. Get in. And we hit Raider and land. Great, we play the Raider. Keep up, take out the trash. And pass. Okay, they do hit the land. Let's see what this targets. We're going to kill whatever it targets, almost certainly. Hoping they target the Elder. Yeah, because that's the thing that I actually want to kill here. Yep, okay, so take out the trash. And they can attack for 4, which is annoying, but we just take it. Okay, we draw a land. So we can play the land. The Raider gets in an attack. I doubt they're going to want to block here. Means, of course, we don't get to play a land off the Mentor if we hit double land, but that's not really huge consideration at this point. No, they do make the block. Interesting. No, they don't. Okay, so we've got a few 5s in the deck. So I could pump once and then miss out on the opportunity to cast those 5s. I think I'm probably going to, because it's not that likely we hit a 5 and nothing else. And I think the damage is going to matter here. Like just the points. All right, sweet. So we hit a Cutthroat. Play the Cutthroat. Pass the turn. So yeah, if they draw a land, they can get back this Hunter's Talent, which is going to be tricky at that point. I mean, we still have a good crackback, and we've got this Fireglass Mentor Goring. I imagine that's not going to be the one they kill. All right, they do hit the land. Let's see what... Yeah, they talent. They fight. Killing my Cutthroat, I would presume, so that I have to block, chump, or do something. Okay, so I just realized actually this attack leaves them just dead, right? Because this is 2, 4, and I can pump the Raider 3 times. Yeah, it's looking like lethal to me. All right. Cool. I guess they maybe just didn't see that. I mean, to be fair, I didn't see it immediately either, so. Nice. All right, GG's, opponent. Was a close one. Definitely would have lost this game without the double Warlock, I would say. Alrighty, yeah, this is a nice hand. 2, 3, can't cast this feed, but surely that'll change, and it did. There we go. Alright, Bellowing Crier, playing some frogs. A removal spell. Would probably prefer threats at this point, but one of the things that's kind of nice against black or against blue-green is if you can kill their key cards, they actually have a pretty tough time closing at the game. So if we just, two removal spells is just not the worst thing in the world here. Never really is, but just noting that, like, I'm not willing to use a removal spell just to get in here. Really want to just kill their key threats. All right, that's an annoying thing. We'll say they get it for 5. Yeah, I can't really do too much about that. That might be something I spend a removal spell on. Yeah, I think we probably will. Yeah, okay, so let's just Hunger. New gift. And we'll get in with this duo. Could have get with the Rock Collar too, and then we trade Rock Collar for Crier, and then duo doesn't trade? Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah. Okay, next turn we get to play Glide Dive. Maybe get to Rough Shot. Get a free Rough Shot attacking if they don't play anything too big here. They play Cash Grab. All right, yeah, so there's a chance here. Looks like they're looking for something specific. Nothing in hand great right now. Take a Mentor. So that's, one of the cards that I mentioned is kind of a key card for them. And now we get to Glide Dive, pump this thing, get in a pretty good attack. I doubt they double block. All right, it's not even actually going to single block. So I could just bash, and they get to trade, but then I get to play Gecko as well as the Glide Dive duo. I think that's just worse than not letting them trade. So we'll just do this, get in. Hopefully they just play the Lily Splash Mentor next turn. And I think they're kind of incentivized too, because we've got a flying creature in play now. Oh, they're tapping in a particular way, so they might have a brawl here. I think that would be... seems likely. Oh, no, okay. Could be the +1/+3 untap trick. In any case, we're just going to cast this. So, kill ya. I think I'm going to cast the Gecko, too, because it seems like that's what they have, High Stride. So, if they want to cast High Stride here, they would need to trade. Okay, maybe they don't have that. Interesting. Raider, okay, pretty good draw. So let's pitch at the Gecko first. They have something. There's a pause, unless they're just playing full control. That could certainly be it too. Okay, let's pitch again. Orator. Okay, Orator's not a bad draw. So that makes me just want to attack with everything here. Ah, the crab. Okay. Sure, so they tapped on these two. We get to play Orator. Also kind of don't mind just trading off this Gecko, I think. Yeah, keeping the board small always good with stuff like Raider. And do I play the Raider here instead of the Orator? I think so, because it's just a better attacker, and This can combo with another 2-drop next turn to trigger the duo. Also keeps them a little bit weary of attacking me back. Okay, but they do attack me here, which is fine. We go to 9. Polywallop, yep, okay. And we draw another land. Okay, so that's land 6. Sorry, land 7. So I don't think that changes too much here. So what if they have another crab? How do we feel about that? Well, if they do, we just lose. And they have something. Okay, well, let's get in. Because they actually lose if they don't have... If it is crab, so... Or, sorry, not quite. They could go to 1. But I think we're in a really bad spot if their last card is crab anyways, so... Just pump. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I think I'm not going to put them in a lethal position. Rather get the orator on board, because it's very, very likely they have like a bounce spell or something, so... Yep, downdraft. That makes sense. So... Do I top that or bottom it? That's kind of close. I think I actually top it here, especially because we're going to play orator, and that can buy back duo, so it's not like we're going to be short on impactful spells if we need that. All right, in for 5. So they're really thinking about this. So I think this probably means that their card in hand is nothing too special. Because I think they would just attack me if that was the case. If they did have something like a good blocker, an interaction spell. They know what's on top of my library. Like, they have perfect information of how the next turn's going to go. Okay, so just play the Ravine Raider and pass. Yeah, it's not an instant. Good to know. Okay, this turn they do get in with the crab. So yeah, we'll go for the block in the orator. Get back the duo. So they have to have a blocker or removal spell or something here. Otherwise, this attack doesn't make sense. I don't think they had it last turn, so I think it's like land unknown. Let's get back the duo. Yeah, my turn. Let's cast the duo. Ooh, early winter is pretty good too. Gonna still just cast the duo. Pump the roughshod duo. All right, so this is lethal in a few ways. Not exactly sure what they could have to get out of this. Another crab. Okay, that is something. Yeah. So I guess we lose to a removal spell now. Exactly at 11. Tree Guard Duo. Okay, that does not kill me. It's a good draw, though. I think we're probably going to be able to squeak this out because we block somewhere. They could just attack with... No, they have to attack with multiple things to really force me into a block. So I think this is just going to be an attack all. I chump. Yeah, like they're in a tough spot. I actually don't think there's a way to get out of this for them. I guess they could have a pump spell here. And I died to that, like just that +1/+3. But they would have used that a long time ago if they had that. I think they just don't have that card. But then again, here's the thing: if they had interaction, they would just kill me. They could be afraid of the card in my hand, so maybe that's not exactly the case. And if it is a pump spell, then I still win because of early winter. But if it's the untapped pump spell, I lose either way. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to take this. Okay. We go to 1, and that'll be the game, I assume. Yep, let's just go early winter, just to make sure that is indeed the case. Yeah, we will give you trample. And we bash. All right, cool, nice. Yeah, little tight there at the end, but we got there. Ooh, this is a interesting hand. So no red source, but double warlock. We have 3 Ravine Raiders in the deck. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a keep. Great if we draw red. Great if we draw Raider. Kind of bad if we draw red cards, but great if we draw a 2-drop with Menace. So yeah, just a lot of cards in my deck that make this hand great. Very happy with it. You know, it's not like the Mentor would really get in very often on turn 3. Although, maybe against this hand. Okay, so we get in. And looks like they might take out the trash here. Nope, they don't. Nice, nice. Play the Warlock. See what they got going on. Oh, okay. It's like for a second I thought they were gonna post-combat kill this Rock Caller. All right, they have. Ooh, they're also a red-black deck. Okay, so just gonna take the Maha, I think. We could also take the Maha with the second one, but no real reason to do that. Because if they draw something that's better than Downwind Ambusher, which I think is the next best card to take, we'll want to take that too. All right, play 1/3. They can't block. We get in. Drain ya. And play another one. Yeah, that is a reasonable response. All right, nice. Alrighty. Oof. Yeah, so unlike the last hand, which was like not perfect, but didn't really need much to get there, this one does absolutely nothing without the black source. And red cards are not great draws because we don't have a ton of cheap great red cards to play. So yeah, just gonna mull this. And yeah, this is a better hand. I like this. So I think I'm gonna put back the redundant Raider. Could put back a land, but that just like makes the Raiders worse as well. Yeah, I just don't want to be missing land drops. This deck can spend mana up to turn 5, turn 6, so of course draw a land after that, but you know, all good, all good. All right, blue green, another land, get in, pump because nothing else to do. Cliff Top Lookout. All right, that is not going to be when I point a removal spell out. All right, yeah, this same turn. Get in, pump. Play land. Obviously now the second Raider looks great, but you know, you only make decisions with the information you have at the time. Sky Skipper. All right, that is fine, not too scary. All right, and drew another land. Okay, so we're gonna have to take out this Skipper. I think they're just going to pressure us a little bit too quickly. If we don't do that, get in. Another Lookout, sure. Okay, well, we gotta draw spells at some point. Or maybe not. Maybe this Raider just solos them. Yeah, we'll pump here. They could have dire downdraft, of course, and I think they probably do. Yeah, we will just bottom this. We have better cards to find. Actually, do we have better cards to find? That's actually interesting. I mean, yes, obviously we do. But a lot of our cards just aren't great top decks, and this is like a pretty impactful card right now. Just being like a pseudo 3-power Menacer. Like, what cards in my deck would I prefer to draw? Gecko, not Cleric, Ruthless Negotiation, I guess. Honestly, I think Raider is just like one of our better draws, which does not speak kindly for, it's not great considering the position we're in. When Raider is one of the better draws in your deck. All right, that thing we can point a removal spell at. Yep, just thin in their deck. All right, so nab that thing. Hopefully they don't have Shore Up. They don't. Play Raider, pass the turn. I guess now the best draw is probably just Gecko to convert some lands into action. Trigger Duo, yep. Bash move for 6. But, like, this spot is kind of what I'm talking about, right? Like, now we get to hold back all of these things. Okay, maybe not with this duo. Or with this Sentinel picking up duo again. But I was, you know, without them being able to pick this up again, they wouldn't actually have a great attack. Spark Shooter's not a bad draw. So if we get in, they get to double block. We become a 4/4. So we trade Raider for Sentinel. And of course, all the mana this turn. So can't really do that. I think we just have to either leave back or just play this Spark Shooter. And I think it's play the Spark Shooter, unfortunately. Ooh, Splash Slasher. Yeah. All right. That is game. So Yeah, the thing is, even if we kept the second raider and bottom of the land, again, not that I, think we should have there, but just hypothetically, I don't think that would have really helped my flood situation all that much. Like the one raider to put mana into, like that obviously matters, and we'd be able to push a little bit more damage, but not quite enough. Not enough to make a real difference. All right, yes. Love this for us. Only thing better could be another 2-drop, so I can play something off the Gecko. Because I don't think I'm going to be looting with this Gecko's ability after drawing a 5-drop. Alright, draw a Cutthroat. Play the Gecko. No thank you. Sticky Tongue. Yep. Ooh, that's a good one too. So again with the Raider. Play Warlock. See what you got going on. You've got a lot of spells. You've got Splash Portal, Lurker, Sentinel. Okay, kind of a lot of dorky things. Nothing too scary here. I think I just take the Calamitous Tide, honestly. Like, this game is gonna go, another 5 turns, I think. At least. So, if I could disrupt their curve, like, not give them one of these 3s, I would take that, but don't think that's gonna matter too much. Like, I take Sticky Tongue, they just play this, blink the Sentinel. Maybe that is actually what I want to do. Just take the Lurker so they can't attack for 3. Also means my removal spells don't cost extra later. Yeah, let's just do that. Calamitous Tide is Calamitous Tide, whatever. If they end up getting 6 mana, by that time I don't think I mind replaying some cards. Wouldn't be too surprised if they just Splash Portal this Sentinel when my shields are down to cycle, hit a land. Yep, they are going to Splash Portal. Cycle it, essentially. They can also pick up a land here. Oh, so they hit a land, that means? Yeah, they hit a land, okay. Because they can also pick up a land to just play the Sentinel. Okay, so we don't have any attacks anymore. We could attack with everything here. And, like, they only get to block one thing. They get to block the Gecko. Like, we could essentially trade in one of our things. It's actually probably going to be the Menace Creature. They probably block the Menace Creature. But we get to trade in one of our things at a shot at a land, which land is pretty good when my hand is full of spells. So I actually think I... Oh, sorry. I didn't play the Mentor pre-combat, so that's not good anymore. Okay. Take it back. It's a close decision anyways, so I don't, like, hate misclicking here a little bit. We'll just play the Cutthroat and call it a day. Because I think, our spells look pretty strong compared to theirs. Okay, Boxer, sure. Okay, we drew the land anyways. So, now I can attack with Cutthroat, force trade. I could also attack with the Menace Creatures, too. Like, it would be an attack with everything, then we play the Sharpshooter as a 4/4. Then they just, like, run away, so that's not great. So I think we just trade with, again, with the Cutthroat here, play Sharpshooter. Yep, makes sense. Play our Sharpshooter. Mentor. Okay, so, I mean, it's not like there's anything too great to blink right now. But it does block our flyers, which is annoying. Alright, play Glide Dive. Pass the turn. I guess the Sticky Tongue Sentinels do too, but I wouldn't mind trading Glide Dive for Sticky Tongue so that my Menace Creatures get to get in. Okay, Early Winter's a pretty good draw too. So, yeah, just play the second Glide Dive. Next turn might go for a big attack. Depends what they do. Oops, not now. Misclicked. Good, there's a fail-safe against pesky misclicks like that. Okay, so they have their 5th land. Again, yeah, this Calamitous Tide just not a big deal. If they bounce the duos, which are the most enticing things to bounce. I just recast them, get the drain again. Okay, so what does this attack look like? It looks like only one of the Menace Creatures get blocked. So it would be like Spark Shooter gets blocked by Sentinels. Mentor gets blocked. Mentor blocks Glide Dive Duo. But then the opponent has Runaway Together up. So probably not enough damage to justify just jamming here. So I think we just pass the turn. And then I think we just cast this Early Winter if they pass the turn here. Because then that probably prompts them to cast Runaway Together. Yeah, Mind Whisker, sure. And then, yep, so we do this. Exile target creature. I would assume they like bounce this, maybe? Bounce my Raider, interesting. Okay, that one's so cheap, though. Ooh, that was a good draw, too. Huh. Okay, so let's go Mentor, attack all. And I think what we're going to do is if they block the Gecko with one of these, I'm just going to block this post-combat. Okay, they just trade off the Flyers. That's fine. They trade there, too. Nope, they don't. They take it back. Yeah, because basically my plan was if they were to block their with their 3/3 on my Gecko, I just kill this post-combat. If I did the pre-combat, they just get to block with the other 3/3, which means that they do is get in. So maybe that's not the worst thing, but I'm okay with this trade. These 3/3s weren't providing much value anyways because the 4/4 blocker. And yeah, this is great. And we hit, ooh, some good stuff. Yeah, I guess we should cast the second Raider. I don't think it's going to matter too much. But yeah, I think this should just be lethal. I don't think there's too much blue-green can do to get out of the situation. Yeah, and they're digging. I don't think they're going to find anything. I guess if they find another Mind Whisker, it gets kind of close, but I think that's still not going to be enough. Yep. And that is lethal. So just jam. They'll make their blocks no matter where they block. I think they're just dead. Yep. All right. Guess I didn't even need to pump, but just in case my math was one off, which it is a lot of the time. So this hand, I could keep it. Our deck is definitely capable of producing better hands than this. Like, it is a functional hand. It's a lot of fives. This is, it's really rare that I just have a hand of 4 reasonably castable spells and 3 lands and on-color lands that I can cast my cards with, and I don't want to keep the hand. But I think this is one. Yeah, I think I do just mulligan this one. All right, this is I think a slightly better hand. Obviously missing something to really get us going with the evasion. If they play a 2-drop, they're just going to trade off. But at least the Warlock, even if it doesn't get to Thoughtseize them, will get to bring us a little bit closer on card parity. All right, they play a Boxer. Do I want to trade off here? I think so, because if this connects, great, nice. Especially against like a premium 2-drop here. I was gonna say, if it connects, great. If it doesn't, we trade, and then our Mezus creature is getting a little bit easier. Another thing I was thinking too is it's kind of likely, or one of the things that might be likely is they don't want to trade here because they've got a fight spell, Polywallop, Hunter's Talent. That indeed was the case. I have to play a Charger. Yep. It is fine, and we get in with both of them. Yep. Play our Large Menace creature now. All right, I like how this is going. Gonna save a removal spell, either for them double blocking here or something scary. A Rampager. Okay, we're just gonna kill that thing. Oh, also pretty nice because I think there's a good chance we get to blow them out here if they double block. And obviously they have to double block. Even if they just double block the Warlock, we're pretty happy. Okay, this is just fantastic. Yeah, we get to just do that. And they get to now draw a card off their sentries, but that's fine. Well worth it. Yep, Bodyguard. That's interesting that they chose to play Bodyguard. I guess maybe they could have the fight spell. Because this, neither of these really block, but at least this one draws them a card to something that can help them here. Oh, making the, sorry, I forgot that they're offspring. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, so now we just get in. Same thing. Spark Shooter can trade off for Bodyguard. Oh, they make that trade. Okay, that's fine too. We do this. Yep. And I think I play the duo here. It's a slightly worse attacker. No, I take it back. Doesn't actually make sense. I was going to say, it's a slightly worse attacker, but if we draw the land, we can trigger it. That is also true if we just don't play it this turn. All right, duo. And another duo. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty good too. So we could just bash. This trades here. This trade off. And then we're left with a bunch of menace creatures. There we're left with nothing. Could also activate Cutthroat so that only one of these things gets to trade and then we play the Rock Caller. I think it's better if I just bash though. Then play the Warlock at their last card. Okay, that's also very good. Play Warlock. Small note, I know the card in their hand, so, playing this post-combat is fine, but if they have one unknown card, and you have Warlock, you should just play this pre-combat, because if it's a land, you can't actually get rid of it if you trigger it first, right? Because it says it takes a non-land, kind of a weird little thing, but... Alright, so now what do? We can go duo and pump the Sharpshooter. Trades off these two. Yep, that looks totally fine enough for me. Or trades off with the Bruiser. Either is fine. Actually, I guess we get to get in with the Warlock too, right? Because either way, the Warlock's going to trade with something. I assume they do block Spark Shooter here. Yeah, okay. Alright, so they go to a virtual 7. Pathmaker. It's not a bad draw. Ooh. 2/2 hastes. With duo in play, too. Interesting. Alright, we draw early winter, though, so that was a really good draw. So now let's just... nab this Pathmaker, and is this lethal? I think almost lethal. So if we put this on... Yeah, okay, doesn't actually matter. But I'm pretty sure if it wasn't lethal, it puts them in a really, really bad spot. Alright, yeah, pretty good draw, obviously. It would have been not a terrible looking game if they got to untap and play their 2/2, but I was obviously glad that we just won on the spot. Yeah, nice land. I like this. Gonna lead on Rock Caller, most likely. Alright, another land. Green-white, yeah. Plays a Warden Elder. Play our Rock Caller. Honestly, probably gonna block here if they attack. Oh, they just push some damage here. Okay, that's fine, yeah. Well, I take it back. If the attack is a 2/2, I should have been more specific. All right, get in. That kind of... It might say to me that they have a second Intrepid Rabbit in hand. Not that that changes any plays or anything. Also, thinking back, I think actually if they did just attack with the Elder, I don't think I would have. Because, like, the reason to attack with the Elder is to... Ooh, nice. Is to... not take additional damage in the race. But with the Scales of Shale, I don't actually think I need to worry about that all that much. All right, what you got, opponent? You've got some action. But you can't cast any of it. Literally none of these cards can be cast. So I don't mind them playing Rampager. I guess I just take this Entrancer. Because, like, I don't know how much the fixing they have in their deck. But this is definitely the worst card if they're able to cast it. So let's just... do this. If they had a land, they play the 4/4. No big deal. Okay, they do hit land. And they can attack for 5. Yeah, huh? Alright, play Rampager. Ooh, Negotiation. That's an interesting one. Okay, so play this Mentor. Get to gain a little bit of life with the Rock Collar. Uh-huh. We hit land and 5-drop. Actually, kind of funny. I guess I just want a Ruthless Negotiation, right? Because I don't really care about the additional lands. Here, I mean, I care about it to some degree, but it's better just to cast this so they can't get closer to their next land if they draw Forest here. We play this and pass turn. 6th lane does matter somewhat, I guess, because if they, if they don't make it a big attack here, I'm not going to use Scales of Shale, and being able to go Duo plus Scales of Shale is something. Trap a Rabbit. Okay, that is fine. So, still get to trade with something pretty big here. Yep. Let's go on the Horn Elder. Zoop. We go to 5. And Cleric. What do you do? I guess not that much. So we just go Glide Dive. Get a little bit of life. Have another thing in play for the Rock Collar. Although this is more life in play for the Rock Collar. Hold on. I said you don't do that much, but that's not true. Because you drain... This would be... If I play this, this attacks. They take 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this drains them twice. Or dings them twice. So they take 6 from just on attacks. And I'd be going to 9. Yeah, then Glide Dive is lethal the turn after. Glide Dive stabilizes us slightly better this turn, though. I think I go for the Cleric play. It's pretty close, though. Okay, so do this. And I think I just get in with the Drain here. And just leave some stuff back on blocks. I could attack with the Warlock and, maybe just get him for 2 free points. But I think I'm in good shape as long as they don't draw a removal spell next turn. And this gives me some insulation against that. So we're just trading for a bunny here, but that's okay. Yep. All right. Kill a bunny. We hit a land, which likely won't be that useful, but why not take it? Okay, so if they attack with everything, we block. I think I actually even just block, like Rabbit on Warlock and Mentor on Rabbit too. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Tree Mascot. Okay, that ain't doing much. And yeah, that is lethal. Sweet. All right. Yep, a little bit of a tricky puzzle. Slightly tricky puzzle to figure out at the end there, but we did it. Combat math over multiple turns. That's always like, one of the things I always talk about that's an important skill as a limited player. It's not always just like, does the attack look good this turn? It's always like, well, can I set up 2-turn lethal? And that was the line to do so. All right, final game here. And yeah, it's a nice hand. Menace into 2, into 3. A Warlock. Even on the play. How fortuitous. I play a Phantom Board Bell. Okay. And the gets, they don't get anything. They just want to play it. Okay, so get in. Play the order. Black-white, okay. Life Creed Duo. Yeah, Black-white is a little bit annoying for our deck, because our deck is all about chip damage, and their deck is all about chip life gain. But, we can always kill this duo if we really need to. What do they have? They don't have much going on, which is nice. So we can take this Dagger Fang. This Consume by Greed. Yeah, I'll just take the Consume. And pass the turn. They go to 17. They miss some cards. Empty leaf back. And we draw Feed the Cycle. Okay. So I think I just get in and probably even trade off this Orator. Yeah, I think trading off Orator is totally fine. Again, makes our menace creatures get in a little bit easier. They say no blocks. So we play Cutthroats. Okay, Cycle Bell. Yeah, again with Duo. Okay. And nothing. Nothing. Okay. So, could just take out the trash this thing. I think that's probably okay. Means we can pump this thing. Oh. What do you have here? It's like Scales of Shale? Oh, great. Okay, that is very good for me. If they're just like using a card here. I mean, obviously it counts as my removal spell, but I get in for 7 damage here. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And with the Duo. Then what? That's an alright draw. So let's just... I think we just run back the removal spell line. Like, we could give this Menace. Yeah, I think I just run back the removal spell line here. I guess it's a little bit worse, because if they have, like, another protection spell, I can't Menace to get this Cutthroat in. Alright, that was the right line, apparently. Alright, sweet. And that's the draft. Alright, let's take a final look at this deck. So, I think this is your pretty typical Lizard deck. Obviously, we've got 3 Warlocks, makes it slightly atypical. But I think 3 Ravine Raiders is about the right amount. That's kind of what I aim for, just to make sure you've got one of these on turn 1 or turn 2 pretty often, because so many of your cards are just way better if you've got the early chip damage than not. You know, the Cutthroats, obviously the Warlocks. So that's kind of the number I aim for. I guess the interesting thing to talk about with this draft was the draft portion, where we were just hanging on the black forever, and then we were kind of just figuring out, okay, like, do we want to be blue? Do we want to be white? We had those moments where, like, the carrot cakes were coming through, but like, there's always cards in every format, and carrot cake is one of these, where I know that not everybody values that card as highly as I do, and might not value it as highly as you do, and it's just good to know what cards those are so you don't get completely thrown off track being like, oh, I got 7th pick carrot cake, like, why wasn't white open? There's always going to be cards that the arena population just tends to underrate, and you know, sometimes it changes. Sometimes after a week of the format, people are like, oh, this card I didn't know it was good, people catch on, and carrot cake is that to some degree, but I know there's still pods out there that just don't respect the card. Anyways, enough about carrot cake. This deck was great. Nice little trophy. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, see you next draft. Bye, everybody.